Okay, so Lena and I are gonna go for a little ride. She is currently my camera person and is doing not a bad job at all. If you're wondering what she looks like this. So it's soft. It's just a. Anyways, I think this is gonna turn out. We're gonna go for a trail ride. I got something to talk about, and let's go talk about it. Okay, off we go for our trail ride. And I thought I would talk about something that came up in the comments section, and a friend of mine said maybe it's irresponsible to teach that every horse can be ridden in a rope halter. Because I essentially don't ride my horses with any bits at all, ever. Last time I put a bit in a horse's mouth was my very first horse. And, you know, I just didn't feel like she responded nearly as nicely or calmly as she did when I just used her halter to ride in. And so it got me thinking at that time, and that was a long time ago. That was close to 10 years ago. Let's go this way, Lena. We're not going to the trailer, don't worry. Got me thinking a long time ago, what's with bits? Now, I realize I live in a bit of a privileged world of not needing to do anything with my horses for competition. I guess it's a privileged world. I don't know how to look at it. But I'm not of the mindset that I need to win any ribbons or do anything. Trophies, money, nothing. I just want to be around my horses in a way that is hopefully peaceful, kind of quiet. I don't demand a lot from them. I don't need them to be in a particular position of their body. I don't need their head to be in a particular spot. I mean, other than relaxed. I don't need them to collect. I don't need them to do anything other than just chill out and go for a little ride. So a lot of my training is done around that. It's never with spurs, it's never with whips. I don't force my horses to go through series of patterns over and over and over. Oh my God. Over and over and over again. I just have them ride quietly. I want them to go left, I want them to go right, I want them to go forward, I want them to go backwards. Nina's got a lot of things to sniff. Somebody's calling out. I think it's Zulu. So. Anyhow, the idea that it's irresponsible to teach that every horse can be ridden bitless in a rope halter or a bitless bridle is an interesting one, and I really decided to have a think on it. Thought, you know, this is a good thing to think on. Because the point is made and is correct that many horses are trained in ways that scare them, freak them out. They get trigger points. They get buttons. ever heard of that? Horse being sold, it's got buttons. Buttons. Somebody said Gracie has a whole keyboard. That's hilarious. Hey, keep me away from that branch I haven't cut off yet. And yeah, you know, it's a big deal when you've got that. And you know, we've been going through Gracie's journey a little bit in how she's afraid of so many things, and so I've got to essentially remove buttons in a way and get her to just chill out and relax. Lena's checking out Gracie's spots for eating. She's like, hey, there's a pile of hay over there. Can I eat that? Sure. Let's take a break. And so there's some validity to the idea that to try to tell everybody, hey, back up for me, please. I don't have enough hands. Okay, back up some more, please. We're leaving. We're not going to eat the whole thing. Come on, let's get out of here. That to try to convince everybody that you can do this might be irresponsible, but not for the reasons that were brought up. That's what I think. Not for the reasons that every horse, or not every horse, can be ridden in a halter or bitless. Not for that reason, but for the reason that I believe that plenty of people won't go through the effort to get that done safely. Not because they don't want to, maybe, but because it's really actually quite hard. Especially in the case of horses that, well, they've been ridden in a way that creates buttons. Or fear, a lot of fear. And many buttons are produced from fear. Horses don't want to be spurred, they don't want to be whipped, they don't want their mouths and jaws yanked on, they don't want pain. A lot of buttons get created through pain. And so it's kind of be up to the person who gets that horse to hopefully have that horse forget about those buttons. Some people rely on those buttons for safety, and in some cases there's validity to that, but it's hard to go through it by case by case, so we won't. So I would say I've got to think on this. Gracie and I have already been out for a walk here in the forest, but I wanted to do a little ride. And I'll probably ride for a little bit after this video and continue to ponder a bit, because it's an important thing to consider. I do take, even though this is a tiny channel, I take some responsibility. You want to go across the bridge? No? Okay. I take responsibility for what I teach to the small crowd that I teach to. And I still hold the idea that I think each horse can be ridden bitless. Every horse that I would ever come across, I believe, would be able to. Which brings up his other point, is like, not every horse is trained by me. Yeah, I get that. Imagine that. Whew, what else would I do with my life? But, you know, we have to consider that the patience or time, or maybe in some cases skill, isn't there, doesn't have the ability to be there, whether financially or emotionally. Not enough time. Can you go left, please? No, we haven't been on this one yet. Keep going. And so I accept that. I accept that there could be some irresponsibility there if I'm not careful enough to lay out some of those prerequisites of making sure that a horse not in a bit can respond well to a person's actions, body and their thoughts and light. Oh, what are we looking at? That's the trailer. Keep going. Jesus. You know, when a horse races off or something like that, how do you stop them? A lot of people say, well, your brakes are your bit. And it's partially true. I get that. I'm not ignorant to that idea. Here, go right. Thanks. Don't go home. Go right. Go right. Thank you. So I accept that. I understand that. There are times, man, it is hard to stop a horse. Lena's a freight train. She's run off on me a couple times and she'd do it again. So then it comes to whether or not we can sit. Something like that, or just happen to jump off. Bail out. That's all the risks of riding horses. You know, Do we get rid of all those risks by putting a bit in a horse's mouth? I say no. Do we create a better connection with the horse with a bit in his mouth? I don't think so. Does it hurt a horse when you put a bit in his mouth? I think yes. I think even just the fact of having a piece of metal in a horse's mouth is uncomfortable. And it introduces the mindset that we might just use it, even if we never do. So I'm against it. I remove it from the equation so that I'm looking for other ways to do stuff as much as I can, because it's not even an option. I do not have the option to crank on my horse's jaw, bars, teeth, tongue. Lena, what is going on? You got to be a little less jittery for me, big girl. Come on. It's good we're out here then. She sees little shadows and little things that sort of worry her. She's got to have a little jump. That's all right. I don't want to go up that way yet. I'm going to turn up the next one. Zulu's really calling out. So that's sort of my take, and I'm interested in everybody else's opinion. You know, is there irresponsibility to saying, you know, I think horses can all be ridden bitless? You know, is that just a dream even? It's the idea of it's still just a dream. Keep shuffling. I hope not. I know for my horses it's not a dream. That's the way it is, and anybody who brings their horse to me, they will all be trained and worked with in a manner that is within that standard. You know. That's just what I think. And I think it's okay. I think it's okay to think that. So, but I do understand and accept that there's probably more that could be said. Yeah, come on, let's go. I want you to go. No, not that way. We're going around some more. That I need to maybe preface some ideas. Like if you want to ride in a rope halter, you want to ride bitless, well, I sure hope that you have a good connection with your horse and your horse wants to be with you. A lot of people ride, I believe, a lot of people ride in bits because they're constantly trying to get their horse to not leave them, run off on them, go back to the barn or go back to a friend or whatever. And so they're constantly hauling on their horse's face and trying to get them to come back. Horses lean on those things and all kinds of stuff. I don't want to go that way. I want to go this way. Thanks, Lena. Good girl. So, no, stop eating everything. Goof. So if those people didn't have a bit, what would they do? Would they ride their horse anymore? And if not, what could they do to get to that spot again? And my personal belief, as you guys know, is a heck of a lot of groundwork and a lot of connection, a lot of working on that relationship that says, hey, hang out with me. Listen to the things that I'm thinking about and change your mind a little bit. It'll work out just fine. So that's sort of my bar and my motto. I hope that makes a little sense. Lena's got a bit of speed in her. I'm gonna probably do a little trotting around with her and a little more riding, a little more thinking. But hopefully that's been a little interesting. Again, if you have any input, I'm happy to hear it. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And I will see you in the next one.